there's always kind of an origin story where it starts out of somebody's personal experience, right? So Mark Waugh is a very well-known entrepreneur now who did diapers.com, Jet, now he's doing Wonder. When he started diapers.com, he was sort of a parent, and it's kind of a nuisance as a parent, right? You go into the supermarket, you got to buy these big bulky things. And there was this notion of, well, if I could change that shopping process and just, send Pampers straight to CJ, he might really like that. And I think this is true. There's a number of cases about Starbucks, as you might imagine, that get taught at business school. And I think this, remembering it roughly right, but the point I think is a good one. So apparently Howard Schultz, right, he goes to Italy and he has this aha moment. People in Italy drink a lot of coffee. People in America drink a lot of coffee. People in Italy drink good coffee made by a barista at a cafe, and people in America drink crappy coffee made by me in my apartment. And there was sort of light went off around this whole idea of creating a third space. So I can imagine, to your other point, that in technology often some new thing gets invented and then try to figure out how to apply it. So it's almost a reverse of the process where I think oftentimes a consumer, it's like, yeah, I don't like carrying my big bag of protein. My customers won't like that. Like, what if I put them in sachets? So in technology-driven stuff, sometimes having a consumer lens is helpful. I've been trying to think about, what it might mean in this whole AI race, for example. It's not something I know too much about, but ChatGPT is always kind of called the consumer product, right? Whereas people say Claude is kind of for the more serious people and so on and so forth.
I'm thinking about examples of founders over the years who had a personal pain point and said, you know what, I'm going to solve this, and I'm going to be a crazy person trying to solve this, even though it's something that seems simple. One of my favorite examples, because I have 3 young kids, is the Uppababy stroller. And so the husband in the relationship was a tall guy. And if I'm only 5'8", so this problem doesn't apply to me, but I can imagine that if you're a tall person and the stroller handles to push don't come out far enough, you're almost like walking on top of yourself the whole time.
Yep.
He wanted it to be modular because he was an engineer, because it was such a pain in the ass to put into the minivan. And if you were traveling with kids, I'm thinking about how we're going to have to fold up our stroller and pack it tomorrow when we get on the airplane. And then the wife, she made her name in marketing at big companies beforehand, and she had a good way to market it, having celebrities around New York City pushing their kids around. But I always think of that as a cool example of someone that took a simple problem very seriously.